All right, all right, all right. So welcome everybody. Again, this is your host Christina Lee, and I'm one of the ambassador for American Anti-Cancer Institute. I'm grateful. I'm forever grateful to to work side by side to learn from Bob Wright, the man, to learn about immunity and prevention and all those things. I'm sure that just like me in the past 18 months, you have been following closely with Bob's newsletter, but you also may or may not be following closely to the news, hearing the word COVID, hearing the word vaccine, hearing all those things. Some say one shot, some say two shots, some say there's a Delta variant, some say an Alpha variant is coming up, some say this and that. So the question is that I'm sure there's at least one person next to you, near you, got double vaccinated. My question, I really want to talk with Bob today is that, okay, what's next? What if my loved one, my family, my friends, my parents got double vaccinated? Now the question is that how would that affect our immunity? The question is that how can we help them to rebuild, to restore their immunity? Let me bring Bob back to the camera and see. Bob, welcome and good morning, good afternoon. How are you?
I am blessed today yet again, and thankful that I study and I research and I know the science, not about everything that there is, but when it regards our health and when it regards prevention and healing, I think it's critically important that we understand what we do in life, how we eat, how we drink, what we put on in our bodies, and that includes vaccinations. And these become a permanent part of us once we go forward with them. And people want to call me an anti-vaxxer, but I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm a pro-health person. I'm a pro-science, pro-research. I want to know what works and what doesn't work and why it does or doesn't. I want to know where is the proof? Doesn't everyone want to know the proof? And yet we're taking vaccinations wholesale today, some too. And as you mentioned, Christina, now some people are getting a third vaccination because governments are asking them to. And yet there is no proof that these things work. They haven't been studied long term. We don't know what the bad things might be that these do to us over time because they haven't been long-term studied. As a result, these are not approved in the United States or anywhere else in the world. They have a temporary provisional approval by the FDA while studies go on. That alone is enough for me to say, wait a minute, what are we doing? Ordinarily, we wouldn't even consider or think of doing something this random and just giving people immunizations for something that's actually never been purified, a virus that's never been purified and totally identified. And so it doesn't sit well with me, you might say. And I've studied the science on this, and most of you know where I sit or where I stand on most vaccines, but especially on the COVID-19 vaccine. And there I said it. So we'll probably get booted after this off Facebook, but that's okay. We'll get it out to those of you who are listening. But I just adjure everyone to, with something this important, to study and find out what's really going on here, because we're putting things into our body now that we really don't have any idea what it's going to do to us in the long term. As a result, the question comes up that Christina just raised, and that's that, gee, how about all the people that already have taken one or two and may get a third? What happens to them long term if things start going south or sideways? How do we rebuild that immune system, which is going to be critically important? But it's also important to note that we don't know what's going to happen. But when you put a synthetic RNA, mRNA into your body, you have a spike protein, all these things, there is no long-term studies to show what it's going to do. But there are a lot of people, including virologists and scientists, who say it's going to be bad. Now, I'm not saying that because I haven't done the long-term studies now, but I have a tendency to believe the true and real scientists in the research that they've done. like the gentleman who, Kerry Mullins, who invented the RT-PCR test, which we use to test for coronavirus today, for COVID-19. And the inventor himself said, don't ever use this to test for a virus. And yet that's exactly what we're doing today. And we have the ability to run it more cycles than needs to be run. So he says, you'll always get a false positive. So what are we doing? We're not even using true science to test for a supposed virus. I'm not saying there's not a virus. Who knows what's out there? There are 300 trillion viruses that live in our own bodies today. And so there's viruses out there. I'm not saying that people haven't gotten sick with something. They have. But it's important to know that 99.7 or 8% of people do not die from this virus. And it's mostly people with comorbidities. In other words, they've already got 2 or 3 things seriously wrong with them. They already have weak immune systems. And so they are susceptible to anything. And that includes the flu, and that includes pneumonia. And isn't it surprising that we never even had a flu season last year? There's no statistics. Does anyone question that besides me? Why aren't there statistics? Were these people just bundled in to COVID-19 statistics? Well, the answer is obvious, folks. What about pneumonia? Were they just bundled in to the COVID-19 statistics? There's a lot of unanswered questions is what we're asking, and we cannot get answers to those questions from the FDA, from the CDC, from the powers that be, why this is so. Instead, we're told, just get the shot. Well, you know where I stand on this. And if you have taken it, then we're putting together kind of a protocol right now in these early stages for those people who have taken a shot or two. And, it's not something that is uncommon that we're putting together right now in that we use similar things for people with cancer or autoimmune disease or any type of chronic illness. But we need the things that will keep viruses from replicating. We know that, and we know that zinc will do that. We know that we're introducing a new product today, very briefly, fulvic acid and humic acid. We know that they will keep viruses from replicating. These are important things as far as the viruses are concerned. But then we have to sit down and understand, well, if I've already had vaccinations and I don't have the virus or a virus at this point, and this starts affecting me in other ways, which it's going to over time. They already have new CDC warnings for Guillain-Barré syndrome and many other things at this point. So it's going to be interesting, but we need to do the primary things. We need to get the right vitamins and minerals into our bodies. These do wonderful things in restoring our epigenetic systems and restoring the invaders, whether it's a spike protein or mRNA. We need to find a way to ameliorate the bad effects that these are going to cause in our body over time. You may not notice them right away. We know that many people, actually thousands, have died from the shots already. And that's proven. That's a matter of public record at this point. And many have had severe reactions, and others will have them down the road. And there may be chronic illnesses that develop from this. And so we just need to think about it, and we need to do the right things. We need to take zinc. We need to be hydrated. We need to have the right minerals. We need magnesium, and we need things that basically will heal the body. And these are things that we already recommend: the seed oils, the stem cell patches. These are things that I would be doing if I were concerned about the long-term effects of these vaccinations that I have received. And actually, I do all of these things right now. And for full disclosure, I have had no vaccines, and nor will I. And if that means I don't fly anymore, I don't fly anymore. If I don't travel anymore, I don't travel anymore. As long as I can get on Zoom, and you can too, we can talk. And maybe that's what we'll be relegated to. I don't think that vaccines can be mandated. I think it is unconstitutional. Well, I think that's a fact. I just don't believe it because I want to believe it. I believe it's a fact. And we cannot have our rights subjugated to government. And that's why we have a constitution in the United States, and other countries have their own as well. That's why we have a Bill of Rights and a Declaration of Independence and all of these things. So we are going to be developing more things. We're going to start looking at this more closely and looking at what the effects seem to be from people who have vaccinations, and we're going to try and deal with them. It's a shame we have to do it after the fact. We'd all be better to, in my opinion, except the people with comorbidities we know that are affected by these things. We'd be better to get viruses. I had the chicken pox when I was young. I had the measles. I had the mumps. I had all of these things, and now I have immunity. And so upon saying that 99.8% of people don't die from the virus who get it, that is just a common sense thing to tell people. Then why is this a pandemic? Why was it ever labeled something like that outside of politics, sheer politics? And it never should have been. And the people in the know that is very true. But we're human beings. We're entitled to have our own truths and believe whatever we want to believe. But I adjure you to do some research before you do something as critical as putting something in your body that you don't know what it is or what it has the long-term effect on you. In the meantime, we'll try and move forward and put together something that can help those people once they start seeing some of these effects of the vaccinations.
Okay, so Bob, that's we have a lot of comment out there, a lot of people saying that what you just shared with us is so resourceful. It's so resourceful. So now let's get into the how. We understand how we understand, like, it's just not it's just it will impact our health long term. Put it that way. Let better work. Okay, now how can we rebuild our immunity? Can you mention?
Yeah, and we've actually been mentioning this for how many years now, Shelley? 13 or 14 years now that we have been in business and do what we do, starting with the Anti-Cancer Institute and working with cancer patients, and now becoming the International Wellness and Research Center and working with people with, of course, always with prevention because it's the real cure, and then working with people that have every type of chronic illness or any type of sickness, all of these people throughout the world. And so we understand and have from day one and have basically forever for those who deal in natural medicine that it's about the immune system. It's only been 3 or 4 years ago that medicine finally slapped themselves in the proverbial forehead and said, it's about the immune system. And then they started to develop immunotherapy. In other words, more drugs to try and stimulate the immune system. What they've discovered is it doesn't work very well because you still have foreign objects you're putting into the body. Some people get some results. We have to declare that, but most do not. It's kind of a guinea pig type of thing for people. But we know that the best things to restore the immune system are natural things. And whether it's pure ionized water, high alkaline water, whether it's negative charge into the body and into the cells, seed oils, it's nutrition. We've discovered that nutrition trumps cancer or almost anything if you get enough of it and if you get the right kind of it. And that includes the right supplementation, because we can't eat tons of organic things every day. So we need to supplement. We need to detox our bodies. And that's very important and is going to become more important when we start dealing with people who've had these vaccinations. And that's why we're introducing something new. And Shelley will bring that up and we'll talk about it later. That is one of the greatest things, a chelation type of agents that there has ever been in the history of the world. And this thing is going to be important. It's going to be very important for people to, while using the right ionized water, to basically detoxify your body down to the cellular level. And that's going to be important, very important. We need to exercise as we always forward. Some people can't, we get it. Get a whole body vibration machine if you can't exercise, because you just need to stand on it and you'll get tremendous benefits. Get a little rebounder that will help you. There are things that almost all of us can do. We need to move the oxygen through the body. We need to get our red blood cells inflated again so they can carry that oxygen in the first place. These should be no-brainer things for doctors, but they don't pay any attention to them. They pay attention to how do we alleviate symptoms. We don't do that. We want your symptoms to be alleviated, but we want to go to the root cause of the problem and eliminate it. Isn't that what you want? I think so. So that's what we're paying attention to. And that's what we're going to do as we move forward and make what might be called the fixes to what has happened to us for the last century, and now what is happening to us over the last year in the poisons and the things that we don't even know or understand that are going into our body. So we know how it works. We know how to basically heal and resurrect the epigenetic systems of the body, all the physiological functions of the body. We know how to strengthen and power the immune system. And it's not through drugs. It's through natural products that work far better than any drugs, and there are no side effects. People are astonished when they understand that drugs don't heal them, when doctors are telling them that they will. They don't. They deal with symptoms. We don't deal with symptoms except on a secondary or tertiary level. We do deal with root cause. And that's what we are going to delve into and further educate everyone on in the coming months and years even. It might come in the form of it will come in the form of our newsletters, our Facebook Lives, as long as we're able to use it. Maybe another summit, another master class. These are things that we're looking at because the chronic health problems of America, of Canada, and of other countries are not getting better, folks, in case you haven't noticed. And so that's what we do. That's what we do, is we help you to know and understand what you're dealing with and how you as an individual can deal with them on your own.
Excellent, Bob. Let's get into your suggestions. I know that you and Shelley have been working super hard to create some product that may work and that may work more effectively than others. Can you share with us some of the products that you would recommend for people to take to 10x the immunity? And you talk about water and what else? Can you share that with us?
Sure. Well, I'm a big fan of silver because silver kills every pathogen known to man that we know of at this point. It was used as far back as the 1800s, and then probably further back when the settlers came across the plains in the United States and put silver dollars in their water and in their milk buckets so that they could kill the bacteria, and these products would last a lot longer for them. And we know that it's been tested on things like E. coli and flesh-eating bacteria, MRSA type of situation. And these are very critical things. I think it would work well on almost anyone in almost any situation. I've used it for food poisoning. We've seen people use it for severe wounds that they've had, and it will help to reduce scarring as well once you heal. And the idea that it kills almost every bacteria and virus, almost all pathogens, is critical to healing of any kind. And so I take silver all the time. I take it in the right form. I take it in its ionized form. Many people use colloidal silver, and that's fine. But colloidal silver, depending on your sourcing of it, might fall out of solution. The colloids might do that because they're not mixed with the solution. They're suspended in the solution. And that's not a good thing if you want to use that product. And some of the colloids are so large that they won't get into the smallest of capillaries in your body, thereby not being able to be present in areas where Lyme disease might be, or other viruses or bacteria might hide. And so we use ionized silver. We have two brands we use because they're pretty close to being the same. They're both ionized. They're picometer sized. We use Dr. Dean's Pico Silver, and we use CJ Costin's Silver Angel, as they're both picometer sized ionized silver, and the ionization problem makes the particles so much smaller, 10 times smaller than colloidal silver. They're not suspended either. They become part of the solution, so they never fall out of suspension. So I would use silver, and I do use silver all the time. I don't necessarily take it every day. I know some people that we have on protocols, we have them taking it every day, and not large amounts, small amounts. And don't worry about getting argyria, which is, that's all over the internet now too. If you take too much colloidal silver, your skin is going to turn silver or blue. And that's always from medical people, the rant that they give when they don't want you to take the silver. But silver won't harm you if you get the right kind. I drank a whole bottle in one day to prove it wouldn't harm me, and it won't harm you. But you just have to make sure you have the right kind of silver and that is produced effectively. The people that get argyria a lot are those that are making their own silver. And sometimes it gets contaminated, and contaminated silver might have a tendency to turn your skin a little different color. So just be careful with that and get the right kind. And we know we have the right kind, and we know the results of people who use it. So I would do that. I would use zinc, because zinc is very powerful in keeping viruses from replicating. We said that, and it has many other types of uses in the body. We now use a pico zinc as well, because we want whatever we use to be 100% absorbable at the cellular level. The problem we have today is people take vitamins and minerals, and then they go in and have a blood test and a blood panel, and they measure the level of minerals or vitamins in your blood. Now, that can be good on the surface level, but it doesn't tell you what goes to your cells where it is needed. And the fact is that most of the magnesiums and other minerals being used today won't get into the cellular level at any large quantity at all. So you're just wasting a lot of money. And so we use now minerals, especially that are 100% absorbable at the cellular level. That's what you need in magnesium and minerals. That's what you need in zinc and potassium and calcium. We have these now, all of these in picometer form, and it's very critical. It's amazing what minerals have the capability to do in your body. There's not one physiological function out of the millions and millions that your body performs every day that takes place without at least one mineral present. Not one. And we're all short of minerals. What does that tell us? And magnesium is the master mineral. There are 1,000 different enzyme functions and other physiological reactions that magnesium is critical for. And yet we're all short of magnesium as well. And so these are reasons to get products that will restore those functions. That's what we're talking about when we're battling anything, any chronic illness, any vaccine overloads, or whatever we want to call it. And so I would get serious about minerals. I would get serious about vitamins. And that's basically the ABCDE. But we need to get full spectrum vitamins if we can. We all know by now we should have fractionated vitamins. Some people will go out and they need more energy, so they go to their doctor and they get a B12 shot, cobalamin shot. And a lot of times it'll be a cyanocobalamin shot, which is a synthetic vitamin B12, when they should get methylcobalamin, which is a natural vitamin B12. But regardless, these are fractionated vitamins. We have a complex of vitamins. Vitamin B, for example, we know goes all the way to at least B17. We know B1, B2, B3, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin. B6 is pyridoxine. I challenge everyone to find out what vitamin B4 is. I'm not going to tell you, but it exists. But our FDA will not recognize it. It's the same with B15 and B17. B17 is amygdalin. They won't recognize it. And there are people that think cancer is a deficiency disease. I think that, and most people should. And one person I know of thinks it's a deficiency of vitamin B17. He wrote an entire book about it. And we get B17 from seeds, especially from apricot kernels. That's where we get B15 too, although we can get B15 in other areas. It's known as instant oxygen. It's critical for us. But a lot of times we fractionate vitamins, and sometimes that works and it's okay. But Plants don't fractionate vitamins. We should eat the plants because they have everything they need within their own structure to support themselves, to feed themselves, to get to draw the water and the minerals out of the soil, to use the sunshine to create photosynthesis. So we can't eat the plants all the time, though. So we take supplementation, but I adjure everyone to look at that supplementation. Just don't go to a big box store, a Safeway store, some kind of store and buy vitamins. You're hurting yourself. Don't do that with vitamin D3 either. You're probably hurting yourself because it's probably not good and it might even harm you. So we always make recommendations on these things, and we try as much as we can to get full spectrum vitamins. And we know there are places like Standard Process where we can get these in a full spectrum because they work together. There's a reason that there's a B spectrum, a D spectrum. We can go to blue ice fermented cod liver oil, and we want to get our vitamin A and vitamin D3 and our omega-3 fatty acids, but there's probably many, many other forms of vitamin D, we've been told that exist within good cod liver oil that we don't even really know about. And so it's best to get it from foods when we can, but we do have to supplement at times, and I understand that. The whole thing is here, get the right form of vitamins that really have a capacity to work for you, to be highly absorbable, and absorbable again, as we mentioned, at the cellular level. So we need zinc, we need silver, we need calcium, we need all the minerals actually. And here's another thing we need, and I don't know if now is the time to talk about it, but we need fulvic acid and humic acid. We need to detox our bodies. And we do that, as many of you know now, who attended our summit last year in our master class. We had Dirk Yao on twice because he does the best form of down to the cellular level detoxification that we have ever seen. Nothing compares to it. So we send people to Dirk all the time, and they have fabulous results. Fabulous results. We've had many people who we get them on a protocol for their cancer or some other chronic illness, and they get better and better and better, but then they stop. And they stop because they're so full of junk and they have not detoxed. If you're my age and you've never done a whole body down to the cellular level detox, then your liver is chock full of junk. And your liver is your main detox organ. You need to get the stuff out of your body. And your fat cells will store heavy metals and other junk in them. And it's a reason why we're all overweight too. We just can't get rid of that fat barrier. And so we need to detox. And we've known of fulvic acid and humic acid for a long period of time. And we have actually casually recommended it to people over time. And there's many products that you can become a part of. But recently, we found one that appears to be making a significant difference in people's lives. And you know us, we don't recommend products unless we've studied them, unless we've researched them. We've researched fulvic and humic acid, and now we're researching a product that we like a lot. And those are the only products that we will bring to you, the game changers, the ones that make a difference. Because there's thousands of products out there. And we don't believe that people should be taking most of them because they're insufficient, or they might harm you, or they don't do much for you. And so we have to be careful when we recommend anything. So now we're going to be recommending something that is a full-on chelator to the body. Pulling out and getting rid of junk in your body is just one of probably, I don't know, Shelley, 50 or 100 different things that fulvic acid and humic acid have an opportunity to do in our bodies. We've been looking at the testimonials of people who have been using this product. And once again, we say this all the time when we study things that make a difference in people. They're just phenomenal. They're phenomenal. And they run the gamut of people from about every malady known to man. And these things make a difference. And like everything else that we forward, we can't tell you they heal anything. No one can do that. Your epigenetic systems are going to be healed over time if you use the right products, and they heal the immune system. The immune system, will say it again, only thing ever that heals you or your body. And so we have to strengthen that immune system. when you put things in your body that make that difference, and one is this new product. Should I reveal the name now, Shelley? Is it time? Can't hear you.
Sorry, I was muted. Sure, go
You're,
ahead.
well, do you want to talk about it a little or not?
Um, sure.
Okay, the product's called Black Oxygen. And Shelley, go ahead for a minute.
Okay, I'm going to actually read a couple of things right off the website. It's the most powerful electrolyte in existence. That's huge. It delivers usable oxygen into the cells. The studies that I've read is up to 45%. We all know that disease begins with lack of oxygen in the cells. So 70 plus trace minerals. It removes oxidative or reduces oxidative stress, improves immune function, supports healthy circulation, boosts metabolism. I can't even read today. Improves brain function, memory, mood, improves heart health, increases nutrient absorption. That's huge. Removes toxins, heavy metals, pesticides, cell generating, enhances and repopulates gut flora, and helps balance hormones. And that's just a few. So this is Terry Stewart is actually the one who brought this to us. And to be honest with you, and I haven't even told Terry this yet, but when I first looked at it, I went, oh yeah, that's fulvic and humic acid. We know about that. And I just kind of pushed it aside. I'm busier than busy right now, and this is the worst time of year for me to have to be learning something new or working with all of this, but here we go. So it is absolutely amazing. We just received ours. Here is, if you can see this, I know there's a glare, but it's just a package of light powder. There's uh, cubes or tablets that they have as well. They have coffee. Not a huge fan of the coffee personally for this group because it's not organic from what I can see. I haven't studied it hard though, but you can mix this powder in coffee. So my thought was get the powder and you can do all kinds of things. You can make a face mask. You can do foot baths. You can soak your whole body in it. There's just amazing testimonies. So what I want to tell you guys is go check it out. If you want to look at the website, it's Black Organics. Excuse me, I always do that. Black Oxygen Organics with an s.com/AACI. I'll post that in the comments as well. But the testimonies that Bob's talking about are phenomenal. Most of those are going to be in the Facebook group. So if anybody wants to be invited into that Facebook group, send me a friend request if we're not already connected on Facebook. And I am Shelley Noble, Noble, Oslie, Oslie. Then shoot me an email that you've done so, because I get so many notifications in Facebook that half the time I'm not even looking at them. So shoot me an email. Let me at Shelley@AmericanaCI.org. Let me know you'd like in the Facebook group and that you've sent me the friend request. I'll go accept it, and then I will invite you into the Facebook group. And so it's just something that I think everybody needs to take a look at. Don't let the Facebook group scare you though, because it talks about a lot of things that the body is ridding, and understand that this is capable of ridding our body of parasites, of flukes, of biofilm, of candida. What product do we know that can do all of that, that isn't locking you into your house for a month, or drinking horrible oral oils and doing all of this stuff? This is literally putting a little teeny bit of powder into water or your coffee, drinking it down in the morning, or like I say, foot bath or soaking. And this stuff is just happening. So we wanted to go slow, especially the sicker we are. We go slow and steady, and if there's cleansing symptoms, we back off. And what do we all know to do? Drink more water, and we know what kind of water to drink. So anyway, I think it's phenomenal. I think everybody should check it out, at least take a look at it. And if you need to know more, Shelley@AmericanaCI.org, and we'll get you taken care of. And one last thing, if anybody ever emails me and I don't get back to you within 24 hours, please send me another one. I'm finding emails in my spam folder that are replies to things I sent. That's crazy, but it's happening. So I usually always get back to people within 24 hours. So Did I babble enough, Bob?
No, that's great. And I have a couple more comments on that before we leave that that subject. And that's that we know that 2/3 of our immune system begins in our gut. And we know that because our gut makes probiotics and enzymes and all different types of things. And it's imperative that the immune system be strong. That's why we recommend probiotics and prebiotics and these types of things. But what the black oxygen also does, the fulvic acid in conjunction with the humic acid, is it helps to build the gut and the gut bacteria. And this is critically important. The humic acid actually doesn't get into your bloodstream. Humic acid is actually a little bit too large. It goes, but it gets not in your bloodstream, but it passes through your gut. And it has the ability to chelate in there and the ability to do other things that involve building the gut. So if you have leaky gut, if you've got Crohn's disease, if you've got any of these diseases that haunt us as far as our gut, our intestines are considered, then this is for you. And let me tell you who else it's for. Everybody. So it's very important. We've seen other testimonials that involve sleep, people that haven't slept for a long time and they're now sleeping, or they wake up at 3 a.m. And they can't go back to sleep. Now they're sleeping through the night. People with pains, and they start taking this, and all of a sudden they sit up and say it's 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, and I don't have that pain anymore. And of course, that's what we use X39 stem cell patches for as well. But we have another thing here that is very simple and very straightforward. It comes from the earth, folks. So when we tell you eat dirt, do it this time. And that's essentially what you're doing in fulvic and humic acid. It's the collection of all of the electrolytes and minerals and things within the soil that are actually good for you, that have been formulated throughout time. And when we put this in our body, it renews us, is what it does. And so I'm going to be taking this every day. And I think that everyone should. It's not expensive in the larger scheme of things. And that's true about everything that we offer. And of the few things that we do offer, some may think that, well, it's a little bit expensive. But when you get down to what it does for you, these things truly make a difference. We wouldn't offer you something that doesn't make a difference, and all of these things do. And so the price is very insignificant based to the ability to have your body changed, basically. Again, we're not making claims. We're just saying that when you put good things in your body, and you can read thousands of studies on fulvic and humic acid if you want to, but we have found the best of the best once again. And that's what we always promise you. We're going to go for the best of the best, not just something that looks good that we can make some money on. We're not interested in that. We're interested in helping you. So pay attention to this, please, and inquire about it at a minimum. Go to that site and look at it. And if you're so inclined, and you should be, try it out.
Amazing, Bob. I understand that for this few weeks, while you and Shelley has been scouting or have been creating products, I know that there's another product that you have added to your list. That's from Canada, and also from one of our Canadian ambassadors. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I do. We always talk about turmeric here, and there's a reason for that. Turmeric is one of the few things that kills cancer stem cells. And if it can kill cancer stem cells, it gives you kind of an idea of the sheer power that it has. There's probably more studies in PubMed and in Sayer G's Green Med Info database on turmeric than almost anything else. It's been well studied, and you can call it a plant, a spice, an herb, whatever you want to. But whatever the case, it seems to make changes in our bodies. And we should be taking it when we're healthy, not just when we're sick. But when we are sick, we have a tendency to, here at least, do the things that will help us to recover and will build our immune systems. Turmeric is one of those things. Of course, sulforaphane in broccoli and many other things will also kill cancer stem cells, where radiation and chemotherapy will not. And the cancer stem cells are the ones that metastasize your cancer. And so we have a new product. I don't know if I have any right here. Do either of you have any right now?
I just finished mine, Bob. So we'll show the picture afterward, but
Yeah,
we can talk about it.
Can you show the picture right now?
Okay, all right. So while you talk about it, just hold on for 1 second. Okay. Okay, hold on. So, all right, let me see. Okay, amazing. Share. Let me share the screen with you. Oh, okay, here you go. This one, right? Bob?
That's it, My Golden Root.
Yep.
And scroll down a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Here's it's a product that's made in Canada. It's actually made by our ambassador up there in the Ottawa area, Darpin. And she's got her own, she's a nutritionist. She tests live blood. She's really, really a smart gal. And she's in the process of developing her own product. She has her own store up there. And you can see she's a nutritionist, an herbalist, a plant therapist, a homeopath. Well, I don't know that she is all of those. She has people working with her, but she does some amazing things. And I was privileged to be able to be up there. What's it been now? It's been almost 2 years ago, hasn't it? That I was up there, and we traveled from Montreal to Ottawa and Toronto and did many events in those areas. And I met Darpan, and Christina and Darpan and I had dinner together, and we talked about a lot of things. And she told us she was developing this product, and now it's there. And you can see the benefits looking at this screen of what it does. And we always talk about putting black pepper together, or piperine, with turmeric. And the reason we do that is turmeric has many, many different things within its structure, within its plant structure. One, and what people consider the most important thing, is curcumin. Curcumin is what everyone looks for when they're looking at turmeric, because it's very bioavailable and bioactive in the body. And it's 5% of turmeric. Well, 5% of black pepper is piperine. And when you put piperine together with curcumin, it does amazing things for us. And it actually makes the curcumin and the turmeric up to 2,000 times more bioavailable in the body. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. It does these things that we need nutrients to do to help us and to heal us, help heal us. So you look here, and it's a product made by someone that we know and trust. We know it's a good product. You'll see it, anxiety and stress. And of course, in the United States, we don't have any anxiety and stress, do we? Except for every day, every waking moment. Safe for all ages. You can give it to your kids. All natural and taste delicious. Actually, I got some of it from Darpan when I was up there, and I need to get some more. Gluten-free, vegan, most bioavailable tonic on the market. We always look at that. Immune support to ward off flu and colds. It goes way beyond that. If you look at the benefits of curcumin and turmeric, there are hundreds and hundreds of them. This is just a brief list right here. Anti-inflammatory. We talk about anti-inflammatories. Why do we do that? Are we driving you crazy talking about anti-inflammatories? Inflammation, basically, because of the acidification of the body that drives inflammation, that drives every type of sickness and disease in our body. It spreads sickness and disease. It spreads cancer. Cancer is spread by inflammation. So it's very critical and important that we understand that. And that's why most of the products that we recommend from the AACI and the IWARC here have inflammatory response pieces with them. In other words, they're almost all anti-inflammatories to some extent, although they do other things as well. But now to find a type of turmeric that does what this does, we're real excited about it. It's not expensive. It's not expensive. So you can get this right through our site now. I'm not sure if it's on our site yet. Christina or Shelley, do you have the address to acquire this now?
Yes, we do. I think Shirley can share that. And the amazing part here is, Bob, to my knowledge, I think DutPay is offering a 10% discount to everybody who's purchasing it through her website, right, Shirley? And she'll make a small donation back to AACI for every single
Yes.
product that will be purchased. And guess what? This product is actually Health Canada approved. So everybody know Health Canada is more strict than FDA. So going back to you, Bob.
Yeah. Shelley, do you have that address?
Sorry, I had to get back in here to get unmuted. Yes, I'm going to post it in there right now. And let me go back to my notes just a second here so I can tell you. It says that you'll receive a 5% off. Just a second, I keep getting a pop-up. And the AACI will get a donation back from her. So 5% discount is what it is. And I will post it in the Facebook group right now.
Excellent. So it's two more things that you add to the list today, Bob. Black oxygen, right? That's a new product that you and Shelley mentioned, as well as this golden root products. So I know that we're running the last 15 minutes of our Facebook Live today. Let's talk a little bit about two of our favorite products. It become one of them become my mom's favorite recently. Obviously, Kangen water. Okay, we finally need to touch on that. I saw that in the comment, probably Shelley see the same thing, which is that, okay, Bob, Kangen water can do the antioxidant. Kangen water can do the detoxification. Do I still need the black oxygen organic? And how? Let me rephrase the question. How can black oxygen, or how can Kangen water enhance the black oxygen absorption? Second question back to you is that you briefly mentioned about X39. I know that that's one of the favorite of AACI, and Shirley, for information, is one of my mom's favorite now, thanks to you. So let's talk a little bit about those two briefly in the last 15 minutes before I let you go today, Bob.
Well, we've been recommending Kangen water as the premier ionized water in the world for 10 or 11 years now. And it all started when actually Shelley brought me to a meeting at Terry Stewart's in a little place called Kashmir, Washington, because I was looking for liquids that cancer patients could consume. And I couldn't find anything. They can't drink milk, bottled water, tap water with fluoride and chlorine, reverse osmosis water, and waters that are distilled waters that are devoid of minerals, because they get into your body and start searching for minerals and will take them from your bones and everywhere else. And so Gatorade and all these other sugared and high fructose corn syrup drinks, soda pop, all of these things that are really detrimental to our health. And so I went to a demonstration of Kangen water, and I was just absolutely floored when I discovered what this water really was. And of course, I pursued this. I pursued Kangen water, and I pursued other water companies and ionizing waters. I pursued the origin of ionized water, which goes all the way back hundreds or literally thousands and millennia when you think about it. And we talk about the Hunzikat people, and the people that drink water, live at 10,000 feet and drink water that comes crashing down the mountains, the snow melt, and actually under power of the streams picks up minerals off the bed of the streams and becomes ionized. And so that's the origin. And Kangen, of course, means return to origin. So it is actually a true ionized water, which involves a splitting of the water molecule into acid and alkaline. The acid goes down the drain. We drink the alkaline water and reap the benefits. But we recommend it not because we make money on it, because we don't sell the machines, but we recommend it because it helps people, and we understand the science of why it does what it does. And I would recommend that everyone drink Kangen water. As I stated, that we looked at and tested many other technologies and machines, and to date have never found anything that is the equal, not even remotely close, of the Kangen water machine. course, there are many companies out there that says ours does what theirs does for half the price. We've never discovered that ever to be true. We've actually discovered many machines that might harm people instead of helping them. And it's important to note that this machine is made by hand. It's not commercially produced. And it is a certified medical device in the hospitals in Japan. We know of no other machine that is. So we studied the science, and the science shows us that before we studied the science, we all knew that you need water every day. You need pure, clean water, but you need water with minerals in it. And when you study this water, you will understand the attributes that it gives us. It's alkaline. We know our bodies are too acidic. Inherently, we know that. So we need to change the terrain in our body from acid to alkaline. Our blood is always required to be between 7.35 and 7.4 or 7.45 pH. If it's not, you're dying. And so we have to maintain that. And your blood will maintain its pH also and steal it from everywhere else in your body. People can't understand why I get acidic when my body has alkaline buffers. Well, it's because you have acidified your body too far. You drink too much milk, you eat too much meat, you drink soda pop, you eat everything acidic, and you break your body down. And then your blood is going to rob alkalinity everywhere it can, because if your blood doesn't stay alkaline, you die. That's how it works. And so we studied the science, and we know that the cells in the body run at minus 25 to minus 50 millivolts. And your red blood cells, your erythrocytes, also have a negative charge, but they lose their charge. Our cells lose their charge because we acidify our bodies, we inflame our bodies. And so the cells will not function properly. It's difficult for them to heal. The best way to get cell voltage back to where it's supposed to be used to be by eating an organic vegan diet and eating all those alkaline rich organic vegetables. That used to be the best way to raise alkalinity in the body. No longer. The best way now is to drink Kangen water, because if we drink a water like Kangen water that has minus 400 to minus 800 oxidation reduction potential, that ORP, that negative charge, it has the capacity to basically translate that charge to the cells faster than anything we know of. So that's imperative for our cells to heal. We need to do that. We know that this water will help inflate our red blood cells. You take live blood and look at it, and so many people today, their red blood cells are deflated, not carrying oxygen well. We know for a fact that putting ionized water like this, Kangen water, into the body will help reinflate those cells, because they're gaining their negative charge back. They're reinflating, so they're carrying oxygen better. This is science, folks, and this is what we look at. So it hydrates your cells better, because the actual molecules of water are separating themselves. They're not glomming together and having difficulty getting into your cells, into those micropores in your cells, because they're big, they're large. Now they're not, because the molecules are not glomming together. They're separating themselves and getting into the cells and hydrating your cells more. So you may get 90% of that hydration, full hydration, into your cells directly, whereas if you're drinking tap water, bottled water, it might be 17 to 20%. Science again, folks, science. And so it also provides one of the greatest antioxidants in the world, molecular hydrogen, into your body. And that's one of the best things you can do for yourself. I caution people to clean their machine frequently to make sure that molecular hydrogen stays at its highest level. And so this is science, and that's why we recommend Kangen water, because it's steeped in science, not because you just need to drink water. Everyone knows that. That's a no-brainer. Even though some people don't drink any water during the day because they're drinking other beverages. But we need water. We need it in abundance, but we need the right kind of water. Why would we settle for less? Why would we settle for something that it's not very good for us? That's something I don't understand, why human beings still drink tap water that's full of chlorine, that's full of fluoride, which are known to be poisons, known to be halides that sit on iodine receptors in your body and prevent the uptake of iodine. Why do we do that? Why do we eat white bread or any kind of wheat bread that has bromine in it? That again is a halide and sits on our iodine receptors and probably many other receptors that are beneficial. on the cells. So this is science. We recommend Kangen water because of science. And we have seen stunning things happen for people that drink Kangen water, especially late stage cancer patients who drink the 11.5 very high pH water. We don't say it heals cancer or anything else. No one can do that. We just know the science and how it works. So we can say that we're healing epigenetic systems in the body, which heal the immune system. The immune system heals you. So I recommend it to everyone. It's probably the first thing we recommend to anyone with a chronic illness or anyone that's well, that is concerned about prevention. Why wouldn't you do this? I don't know why you wouldn't.
That's a relevant point, Bob. Like one of the things that I find interesting is that for everybody, since we touch on COVID vaccine in this episode, for every single person who got vaccinated, one thing that's highly recommended for everybody is that to drink more water.
Right.
More water. I think that's interesting. That's fascinating. Because the thing is that, okay, now if you're going to drink more water, what kind of water are you going to do to make sure that you're charging yourself to regenerate your cells and things like that, right? So, and what's better than Kangen water? Are you going to drink tap water? Are you going to drink reverse osmosis water? Or are you going to drink Kangen water? That's basically going to give you a charge, right? Speaking about cells, speaking about charge, externite, will externite also help those people who got vaccinated with COVID?
Well, we know about stem cells, and we've known about stem cells forever. We know that we're formed in the womb from trophoblasts and germ cells, which are stem cells. That's how we develop. But as we get older, our stem cells basically become dormant in us. So if you reach 60, 65 years old, it's likely that 90% of your stem cells are dormant. Stem cells, it's important to know, heal us. That's their job in our body, is to heal us and to keep us young. That's what they do. So my question to everyone out here is that if you're my age, how old am I going to be, Shelley? 71 in 2 weeks? No, 71 in a week and a half. I wear a stem cell patch every day. But because I need to reactivate my stem cells, I need to stay young, and that's what I do. So here's my question. How would you like to turn your stem cells not back to when you were 59 years old or 50 years old, but when you were 30 or 35 years old? Would that be a good thing? No one can say no. Obviously, it would be. We need to get our stem cells, which are dormant, reproducing in our body, dividing in our body, and migrating throughout our bodies. And they will do that, but you have to give them a little support. And you do that by wearing an X39 stem cell patch for 12 hours every day. Then you take it off and throw it away. The next day you put a new one on. There are no stem cells or anything in that patch that goes through your skin. It has in it a few amino acids and a little bit of sugar, because it is not a patch that delivers anything into your body. It's not transdermal. It serves as an antenna. It's phototherapy is what it is. And many have heard about phototherapy. There's many different types of phototherapy. This is a phototherapy that once placed on your body, the heat of your body activates it. At that point, it begins to reflect a certain spectrum of ultraviolet light that comes out of your body back into your body. As a result, it activates a copper peptide in your body. Peptides make up proteins in your body from amino acids. And your body's made of protein, so it's very important. This GHK peptide, it's a tripeptide. It has 3 different peptides in it. It has an affinity to copper. And as a result, the peptide itself does wonderful things in your body. The copper peptide, when copper attaches to it, does more wonderful things in your body. You'll find at least 50 different things that this copper peptide does once it's activated in your body and begins reproducing and moving throughout your body. It's going to help you in 50 different ways. It's really incredible what it does. And most people don't have any idea that this is happening or can happen in their body when they reactivate that copper peptide. But one thing it does is it activates your stem cells. And this is so critically important. Do you want to stay looking young? Do you want to heal your body? And the results that we've seen are amazing. That's all I can say, amazing, to people that almost have had their hands and feet cut off. They're sewed back on. And a month later, you can't tell that there's hardly even a scar there. This is incredible, but that's the healing power of our stem cells. And they do much, much more than that. Sometimes they don't work as fast as people want them to work, but that's the nature of stem cells. They have to begin reproducing and moving throughout your body, and they're going to go and try and put out the biggest fire first, whatever that is within you. But we see people that are sleeping better. They're looking younger. One woman said in 6 weeks she didn't recognize her face in the mirror. Isn't that what we want? We want to look younger, and we want to be healed, and we want to heal internally even when we don't know that we're sick. Stem cells heal us. That's what they do. There are in excess of 12 clinical studies that show this to be true, that have been performed on the X39. So we don't have to say that it will do this and this and this for you. Look at the clinical studies. They will show you exactly what these do for you. So I wouldn't be without mine. I've moved mine from my C7 vertebra today. I have it down on my lower back here because I went out and hit way too many golf balls the other day, and my lower back is bothering me a little bit. But I find out when I switch my patch down there, when I have this happen to me, that it brings me back much, much faster. So that's just, and I have other things that it's done for me too, but that's just one thing. And you can go to our site and you can look at all the testimonials, or you can look at the clinical study, you can look at the technology and all of that, if that's what you want to do. And I always encourage people to do that. But know for a fact that these work, and they work every day. From the moment it hits your skin, it starts working. Actually, you don't even have to wear it on your skin. You could put it on your shirt above the point in your skin, and it will still work. I still think you should put it on your skin. But for those people who might have a little allergy or something to the stickiness of the patch, most people don't. But if you do, you can put it on a shirt or something that sits right above that. So I recommend this to everyone. I'll wear one every day for the rest of my life, and I think people should. Even children can wear them.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So Shelley, before we let Bob go, any further questions you have for him to address to you?
I don't think so. I think just a couple of things that I'd like to add to it. Bob went into great detail on the water, and that's always good. But as everybody's saying, that everybody's being told to drink more water, but remember, this Kangen water, the majority of it is absorbed by our cells. Tap and bottled water, the scientists have proven we absorb 15 to 17%. So that means that if I'm supposed to drink a gallon of water, 128 ounces, I'm only able to absorb 22 ounces at best of tap or bottled water. So there's just so many things about the Kangen water that we would need to, spend a couple hours on to really go in depth. But to me, that's a huge one. And then I think there was something else I was going to address.
Before you finish, everyone contact Shelley if you're interested in Kangen water, because she can hook you up. The AACI itself, though, it doesn't sell Kangen water machines, but we're interested only because people need to get the right machine. They need to know all the 7 different waters that it produces and how they work and what they're for. They need to know how to clean their machine. It's very simple, but you need to know you have to do it. I've run into far too many people who say they have a Kangen water machine and they've never cleaned it, or they've never pulled it out of the box because someone did not show them how to hook it up. It's real easy to do, but you need someone to guide you. And if you have someone in your neighborhood that has one and they're very good and they'll show you everything about it, go get the machine from them and do that. But if you're in Canada, get a hold of Christina. She'll set you up. Otherwise, come to Shelley, and she'll help you out and tell you everything about it. And as well, the X39 as well. Shelley knows a lot, and she can give you a couple short videos. She can give you a post, if you will, again, the site where they can go, Shelley, to acquire the patches, and we'll go from there. Sorry for interrupting you.
Oh, no. That was great. The water, there's and all of this stuff, there's great things. YouTube is amazing. So if you don't know how to clean your Kangen water machine, hop on YouTube, type it in there with the type of machine that you have. But that was the other thing that I was going to mention, is I put it in the comments. we are now recommending that people clean their Kangen water machines with the citric acid once a week. It used to be that we kind of went by how much buildup was in your water bottle and we did it that way, but we're just seeing far too many people. And an example is we have a gentleman that has cancer that has a whole elaborate system on his home. And he said, Shelley, nobody's water is cleaner than mine. I don't need to clean my machine more than once a month. It's doing perfect. And I've always got all the gray bubbles. Everything's great. And I said, just humor me. Do it once a week for a month and then tell me. And it didn't even take him that long. He called me back and he said, I will never go longer than a week with cleaning my machine ever again. So it does make a difference. The water can only be as good a quality as the plates allow it to be. If our plates are built up, they're no better than the competition's machine. So we've all seen the comparisons out there about this is what the plates of a competitor's machine looks like. Well, ours can do the same if we don't take care of it. They brag that they don't have to clean their machines. We brag that we get to clean our machines. If you're not cleaning your Kangen water machine, what's happening to the hoses? Is mold building up? There's got to be a way to clean those. So it's an easy thing. It's cheap. It takes 1 scoop of powder. There's 32 cleanings in 1 container of powder, which is $25. So we made huge investments on these machines for our health. Let's keep up with it by changing the filter as we should and cleaning it as we should. So I'll put a couple of things in the comments as far as how to get a hold of things, but everybody knows if you have product questions, reach out to me at shelley@americanaci.org. I'll point you in the right direction. And again, if I don't get back to you within 24 hours, please email me again because it means something slipped through the cracks. Okay.
Shelley, let me add a little bit on to what you just talked about, because I know that a lot of Kenyan folks are actually watching this episode. Guys, cleaning the machine is important because it's depending on source water. You may question, how come I got my machine 5 years ago versus I'm using it now? Why do I need to clean now, but I don't need to clean as often as before? Because water is changing, because water is getting worse. It's not getting any better. 2 things that you must do if you're in the States. While you're cleaning your machine, you need to get a pre-filter. If you're in Asia, if you're in Malaysia, if you're watching in Hong Kong, you're watching in China, you need to get a pre-filter. Then also clean your machine. Okay, 2 things. If you live in Canada, somehow get a pre-filter. You don't need to clean your machine as often at this moment, but it will change down the road in the next 2 to 3 years. Your machine is not going to burn, but you won't be getting as much high in antioxidant as you can ideally have if you clean the machine, right? And for the other machine, for the competitive machine, they will say that you don't need to clean the machine. But the fact is that you will no longer have that antioxidant even you clean the machine like once a week or twice a week, 2 years down the road. That is the difference. That's why Bob mentioned medical grade, Japanese medical grade. That is the difference, because you can clean it and you can optimize your antioxidant. That's a real fact. That's why if you want to do your research, we are seeing a man called BobWright has been doing months of research before he got his machine 11 years ago, and still use it now, the same machine, right, Bob? Am I right?
Well, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, sitting listening to this, you just heard that from the only water sommelier in all of Canada, Christina Lee. So she knows what she's talking about.
Thank you, Bob. So in case you want to know more about it, go to 10ximmunity.com, because we have a 2-hour episode. We talk about water. We have a 2-hour episode talk about X39. We have a 2-hour episode talk about dirt yaw. We have 2-hour episode talk about apricot kernel, right? So go to 10ximmunity.com. So therefore you can get that 10x Immunity Summit that Bob and I did together with Shelley. So Bob, without further ado, any final word before we let you go today?
Well, I can't tell the people not to get any vaccinations. It's not my place to do that. I would just ask everyone to do a little bit of research and be very mindful about what you put in your body and on your body, no matter what it is, the water you drink, the food you eat, the supplements you take, the lotions and potions you put all over yourself. Be mindful of those things, because we were meant to have certain things enter our body and certain other things not so much. Radiation, chemicals, all of these things. And you'll be surprised at what might be in the vaccines that we're now taking. So just be very careful at what you do, and we'll try and help you down the road if in fact you have taken vaccines of any kind. We'll be posting and talking more about what we can do to ameliorate any symptoms or anything that goes sideways down the road.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Bob. And we'll see everybody again Facebook Live maybe next month. So make sure that you like this page, you follow this page, because every single time whenever Bob and Shelley go onto the Facebook Live, you will get an alert. So don't miss it. And make sure that you share this video out, because we know that everybody who got vaccinated need to hear this message today, need to hear it, because we want our friends and family to live healthy with quality of life, right, Bob? So thank you so much, and have a good day, everybody. I know that our friends and family to